Breaking news tonight, we go to South America as Latino nations begin to turn a new leaf, in more ways than one. Find out what countries are turning green and saying yes to marijuana. And what's got Latino millennials reeling in archaic stance is about to be put to the test as young Latinos battle for peace with Cuba. And what state posts the highest growing rate of Latinos in the U.S.? It's not Texas or California, not even New Mexico. Save your guesses because you won't believe the answer. And why are ballplayers suing the MLB? A field of dreams crushed for one Dominican ballplayer who left the tiny island in pursuit of a better life. And check out our exclusive interview with Tim Riley, assistant coach of the Rutgers University baseball team, on his experience on the field here on Latinos Unidos. Welcome, Rutgers, to Latinos Unidos. I'm your host, Danielle Noriega. Listo? Let's get down to business. A once conservative South America is making shockwaves around the world. And a new leaf, a new outlook, and new laws have everyone buzzing and, well, inhaling. Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, Argentina have officially lowered their penalties for marijuana possession. Uruguay was the first of Latin America to make this bold move, legalizing marijuana in 2012. Now, according to USA Today, citizens can buy up to 40 grams from the pharmacy monthly, along with growing up to 6 plants at home. Now, aside from Uruguay, several of these nations have lessened the penalization in an effort to end the war on drugs that have severely plagued Latin America. Brazil, for instance, allows recreational use of marijuana but prohibits the trafficking of said plant. Now, Rutgers, we want to know what your thoughts are on these changes. Should the U.S. follow in South America's footsteps and take it easy on marijuana? Rutgers, Latinos Unidos hits the streets to find out your thoughts. Let's take a look.
I do think that the U.S. should adopt less strict marijuana laws, and just based on other countries or states that have done it and the results that they see from it, like, you have to follow an example. We've had strict drug laws and we've seen the outcome of it. We haven't seen a decrease in the use of drugs, and we've seen a lot of people going to jail and having their lives ruined over drugs.
I definitely think that the U.S. should have much less strict marijuana laws, so people aren't getting harassed on the streets, you know.
Countries that and states that have legalized it, they're seeing a revenue from drugs. They're taking a positive from the sale of drugs. They don't see an increase in crime or anything with it.
Yeah, I think that some positives are definitely the fact that our jails wouldn't be as cluttered up as they are right now, and we get tax. I think it's like this drug. They think, you smoke it once, you're going to get completely addicted to it, be, not a functioning member of society. But that's not a fact. That's not how it goes down. And just misconceptions. People are very misconcepted.
What's really important is changing the outcome of drugs, not the whole debate over whether it's legal or illegal or moral. It's the outcome of it.
Definitely some loaded questions for our Rutgers community. Fun opinions for sure. Now, speaking of opinions, according to CNN Digital Latino, millennials are asking to end the Cuban embargo. Cuban-American millennials are challenging the embargo, saying that it doesn't fit with the current times. Young Cubans aren't the only ones looking to end the embargo. Hillary Clinton has stated she'd like to end it as well, adding that the embargo has, quote, propped up the Castros, as they choose to blame any U.S.-Cuban relations solely on the embargo. Now, while Chicago-based writer Hector Luis Alama told CNN, "I don't believe that being of Cuban descent matters. As an American, I have invested interest in the policies of my government, not only towards its own citizens, but always towards the citizens of other countries." However, ending the embargo seems far from happening. Legislators Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and Bob Menendez, all of which are of Cuban descent, refused to end it. Now, we want to know what you think about the possibility of ending the embargo. Latinos Unidos social media correspondent Leslie Acuna is on the case. Leslie?
Thanks, Danielle. Hi, everyone. I'm Leslie here, ready to read of your pending tweets. Let's take a look. User C Hernandez _BDS tweets, "Yes, the Cuban embargo should be lifted because both sides could possibly benefit from trade." Definitely a possibility. Thanks, Chris. While user Chris _some states, "The Cuban embargo should be lifted because Beyonce and Jay-Z went to Cuba and nothing happened to them. #Queen." Of course, the Beehive buzzed their way to our Twitter feed. Thank you, Chris with a K. And finally, Ivanok tells us he doesn't think the Cuban embargo poses a threat. Lift it. As for me, I don't want to get in the middle of this heated discussion, but those are definitely a nice mix of opinions. And don't forget to keep tweeting us at Latinos Unidos TV to share your thoughts. That's all I got for today, Danielle.
I have a feeling that a Hot Topic will be pressing some buttons in the 2016 elections. Stay tuned for that. Thanks, Leslie. Now we're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. You're watching Latinos Unidos.
Visit the Livingston Plaza, where you can shop, dine, and experience the comforts of home right here at Rutgers on the Livingston campus.
Are you an artist or an art enthusiast? Check out Zimmerly Art Museum's Art After Hours. Every first Tuesday of the month, Zimmerly hosts a fun-free event for students. Enjoy a new lineup of activities and events all year long. For more information on the Art After Hours, visit zimmerlymuseum.rutgers.edu.
No cash? Fear not, my friend, for I have a simple, easy way for you to deposit money straight from your bank account onto a card that you carry every day. That's right, RU Express is a debit account system on your RU ID which can be used to make purchases on campus and many locations off campus.
Well, how can I tell which off-campus stores offer RU Express?
Just look for a red RU Express sticker or a big Rutgers R on the outside of your selected destination, or you can find a complete list of the off-campus merchants online.
Well, what if I have money on my card left over when I go home for the summer?
No worries, RU Express is still valid in the summer and your balance will carry over from year to year.
What if I need to get my RU Express balance refunded?
Refunds will not be permitted unless a graduating student submits a RU Express refund request form for a minimum of $25. Now that's enough questions. Hurry up and transfer some money onto that ID of yours and buy those books.
So the Art Library exhibit space, as you see around us, is a space that we have here in the Art Library that's to showcase the campus, the community, and the individuals and the artists and the creators that are within our midst. The reason the Art Library is so great is we're a collection that does not circulate. Within our collection we have over 90,000 volumes, and we also are able to provide a huge array of exhibits from students and community members. We have exhibits going on in our cases, and we really want community and faculty, students and staff to come and enjoy and have their voice heard and be able to appreciate the arts in ways that maybe they aren't usually seen. So to find out more information about the Art Library exhibit space, you can certainly join the Art Library Facebook page, or sometimes you'll find information on the Rutgers University Library homepage.
Welcome back, Rutgers. Now, we asked you at the beginning of our show to guess what state has the highest growing rate of Latinos in the entire nation. Now, despite Texas, California, and New York being home to 55% of the country's Latino population, Hawaii now takes the crown as the state with the highest growing ethnic group, Latinos. Latinos are now saying aloha to the tiny island off the coast of California. According to Latino Fox News, Latinos are flocking to Hawaii because in their eyes, it feels like home. The summer breeze and sunny backdrop makes the move to America much less unsettling. Latinos represent 9% of Hawaii's 1.8 million people, jumping a total of 40% since 2000. Tourism, agriculture, and construction are said to also be some plus factors with the Latino community, as many seek job opportunities in said fields. Hawaii is said to expect an even bigger increase in the next 5 years. Now, a move that was meant to improve his lifestyle has actually left him in ruins. MLB doesn't guarantee the big bucks. Witter Jimenez signed on the Philadelphia Phillies with the hopes his humble life in the Dominican Republic would be turned around to a life of luxury, or at least comfort. But with a yearly salary of only $5,500, Jimenez is now the only Latino of a 50-ball player suing the MLB for exploitation, including no overtime, no pay for special assignments, and no right to switch teams. Latinos are said to make the greatest dent in the MLB as several players hail from Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, and Cuba, but yet are the most neglected with lack of resources, funds, and general advising, with the language barrier creating an even bigger challenge. Now, when comparing a Latino ball player to, say, an American-born player, Latino-born players can be signed on at 16 with no formal education, while an American player can't turn pro unless he or she acquires a high school diploma or equivalent. So say Jimenez's case, who quit school at 16 and has now been released from his team, he is left with what he says is no education and $0 in his bank account. In this lawsuit, Jimenez is not only gunning for justice, but for other Latino players to recognize that baseball is here today, but can be very easily gone tomorrow. Headlines have had us shook this entire week. Now don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back with Tim Riley to discuss more things baseball here on Latinos Unidos. Stay tuned.
Douglas College was originally founded in 1918 as the New Jersey College for Women. In 2007, it was integrated into Rutgers University and is now known as Douglas Campus. Since then, Douglas has expanded to include the #1 women's history program in the country and Mason Gross School of the Arts, a prestigious fine arts conservatory. Although the Douglas campus is co-ed, Douglas is also home to the Douglas Residential College, the only all-women's program of its kind. Douglas is still growing. Stop by and see what's new today.
The Rutgers bus system provides more than 15 options to get around the 5 campuses. Sounds overwhelming? But here's a quick recap of the bus routes and available resources to make traveling easier. On weekdays, the A and H buses make stops along College Ave and Bush. The B loops between Livingston and Bush, as the LX makes stops on Livingston and College Ave. The F takes an express route by traveling Route 18 from College Ave to Cook and Douglas. The Rex L goes between Douglas and Livingston, with the Rex B looping between Douglas and Bush. There are also weekend buses, which make stops on every campus. Each bus stop displays the routes of the specific bus stopping there and the expected arrival times. To learn more about the Rutgers bus system and additional bus services, download the Rutgers app, visit nextbus.com or rudots.rutgers.edu.
No cash? Fear not, my friend, for I have a simple, easy way for you to deposit money straight from your bank account onto a card that you carry every day. That's right, RU Express is a debit account system on your RUID which can be used to make purchases on campus and many locations off campus.
Well, how can I tell which off-campus stores offer RU Express?
Just look for a red RU Express sticker or a big Rutgers R on the outside of your selected destination, or you can find a complete list of the off-campus merchants online.
Well, what if I have money on my card left over when I go home for the summer?
No worries, RU Express is still valid in the summer and your balance will carry over from year to year.
What if I need to get my RU Express balance refunded?
Refunds will not be permitted unless a graduating student submits a RU Express refund request form for a minimum of $25. Now that's enough questions. Hurry up and transfer some money onto that ID of yours and buy those books.
Are you an artist or an art enthusiast? Check out Zimmerly Art Museum's Art After Hours. Every first Tuesday of the month, Zimmerly hosts a fun-free event for students. Enjoy a new lineup of activities and events all year long. For more information on the art after hours, visit zimmerlymuseum.rutgers.edu.
Welcome back to Latinos Unidos. I'm sitting down here with Tim Riley, assistant coach of the Rutgers University baseball team. Tim, how are you today?
Good, how you doing?
Thanks so much for joining us.
Sure,
now,
thanks for having me.
can you tell us a little bit about your journey in baseball, from where it began to how you ended up here back at Rutgers?
Sure. I started playing baseball when I was 8 years old. T-ball, Little League, all that stuff. Went to Holy Spirit High School down in South Jersey. Played baseball there for 4 years. Got a varsity letter 3 of the 4 years, I think. I got the opportunity to play at Rutgers. It was a great opportunity. Not a lot of people get to play top-level Division I baseball, and I was really lucky to have that chance. My sophomore year, we won the Big East title, so that was huge for me. Got to see some really good teams and really good competition, some really good baseball. While I was in college, I also coached. I coached some high school kids back where I grew up, and just to make some money on the side. And when I graduated, before I graduated, after I was finished with my eligibility, 2010, I started as a student assistant coach. Stayed and worked with the catchers and the hitters, and was a bullpen coach during the tournament and things like that. When I was done, I still had the bug, still had the passion for baseball, and got a job at Rider University in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, and coached there for a year. Again, worked with the catchers, the hitters, and coached third base, and got my feet wet in recruiting. After Rider, the position opened up here again for a volunteer assistant. I got the opportunity to come back and coach the catchers and the hitters, and it was kind of a surreal experience because I played here, and now getting to be on the other end of it was a little different. I was a volunteer assistant coach for 2 or 3 years, and when Coach Hill retired, I was fortunate enough to get a full-time paid assistant job.
So what would you say of all those years with your experience in baseball? What was the one memory that stood out to your one accomplishment?
It had to be winning the Big East title. Had to be. I mean, that was just, we had a great team that year. I was so proud to call all those guys my friends and have some awesome guys on that team. We had six guys on that team drafted, go on to play professional baseball.
So how did that feel?
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was nice to see that you had been a part of something that was something higher above you, above baseball. It was just that team atmosphere, and to have guys that obviously are at the top of their level in baseball. It was pretty neat.
It's incredible. So my understanding is that you were of Cuban descent.
Yep.
Did your heritage have any sort of influence in the sport you chose?
Not at the time. I played everything. I played football, I played baseball, soccer, basketball, some street hockey, and it just had a passion for baseball. And my grandfather always said, if you're Cuban, you're a baseball player, whether you play or not. So I guess maybe it did a little bit, but I didn't pick it.
That's awesome. So who would have known?
Yeah, who knows?
So you heard the story earlier that we covered on Witter Jimenez on the exploitation of Latin ball players. Have you ever witnessed anything like that on the field, or have any idea of these things that go on behind the scenes?
I mean, personally, the experience that I've had with that and the stories that I've heard are, we talked about the 30 for 30 the other night. That was about the Cuban baseball players that came over and from dirt poor countries, and they win. They go and they're very successful and they make a lot of money. Those are the stories that I've heard. I've never really heard a story. It was kind of shocking to hear. For me, the surprising part about that was they haven't been able to eat. Right. When you're an athlete in any sport, you really need to maintain that strength, and to not give them the opportunity for the nutrition. That was surprising. But I've been in baseball for a while, and I've had a lot of buddies, like I said, that went on to play pro baseball, and the pay isn't great, and you're kind of, and I did it. I was a volunteer assistant for many years, kind of just paying my dues, and you never know if you're ever going to hit it big, or if you're going to make it, and it's just kind of the culture of baseball where you're paying your dues. Is it just? I don't know, but it's kind of the mindset that you have. So it wasn't shocking, but yeah, that was an interesting story.
Wow. So looking back on your baseball years, what advice, not even so much baseball, say college, your career, anything, what advice would you have given yourself then that now you know today that you wish you would have known then?
I would say don't worry too much about your failures, because you don't know where you're going to end up, and most of the time it might be somewhere better than what you had planned for.
Right. Awesome. Well, definitely some words to live by. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, we'll be right back with Latinos Unidos.
Good morning, Rutgers. I'm Jackie Kelly, and today we're going to explore an exhibit at the Center for Latino Arts and Culture, also known as CLAC, called The Persistence of Memory, Letters to My First. Aspiring artist Jessica Nato will have her unique projects on display as they tell a profound story of self-exploration and realization. Let's go take a closer look. Can you tell us a little bit about this exhibit?
Well, just to tell you a little bit about this program. It's a collaboration between the Center for Latino Arts and Culture and the Center for Social Justice, Education, and LGBT Communities. Today is Coming Out Day, National Coming Out Day. So we wanted to organize a program that allowed our students to consider and explore gender identities among the Latino population as part of the different identities that Latinos can express. And so we found an artist who's based in Jersey City, and this is Jessica Natal. And so we thought it would be a good idea to bring her to present her work and have it serve as an impetus for a conversation. So today, as part of this program about National Coming Out Day, it's also Are You Ally Week, and we're trying to engage students in thinking about and pledging to support students in their various places where they are and acknowledge those places and to be supportive.
So can you tell us a little bit about your art piece on display?
Sure. It's super personal. Took place about 16 years ago. And it sort of documents basically the letters that my first girlfriend and I had written to each other. The materials that I used were basically sheetrock and interior high gloss paint. And basically just pencil. I learned to forgive. That's, I think, the biggest part that I learned. It was sort of a really traumatic experience, and that was a big one.
So why'd you come out to the exhibit today?
Well, I came out to the exhibit because I know the center usually has interesting exhibits, and considering the fact that it's an installation, I was interested to see how it would be laid out.
I came out to this exhibit because it's actually one that's kind of important to me. I am a queer person of color myself, so I'm reading the panels and just looking at them, and I see some of myself, my own, question about my identity in it.
Why do you think students should come out to this exhibit?
Well, I think it's always interesting to just be around art. I think art is very important because I personally feel that there's something that goes into making art that it pulls out a piece of the artist.
I definitely think art is important when it comes to, learning a bit about yourself. You learn about yourself from things around you. We relate ourselves to the outside world.
Well, there you have it, Rutgers. Be sure to come and check out this exhibit. And as always, keep painting the town scarlet. I'm Jackie Kelly, RUTV.
Are you an artist or an art enthusiast? Check out Zimmerly Art Museum's Art After Hours. Every first Tuesday of the month, Zimmerly hosts a fun-free event for students. Enjoy a new lineup of activities and events all year long. For more information on Art After Hours, visit zimmerlymuseum.rutgers.edu.
No cash? Fear not, my friend, for I have a simple, easy way for you to deposit money straight from your bank account onto a card that you carry every day. That's right, RU Express is a debit account system on your RUID which can be used to make purchases on campus and many locations off campus.
Well, how can I tell which off-campus stores offer RU Express?
Just look for a red RU Express sticker or a big Rutgers R on the outside of your selected destination, or you can find a complete list of the off-campus merchants online.
Well, what if I have money on my card left over when I go home for the summer?
No worries, RU Express is still valid in the summer and your balance will carry over from year to year.
What if I need to get my RU Express balance refunded?
Refunds will not be permitted unless a graduating student submits a RU Express refund request form for a minimum of $25. Now that's enough questions. Hurry up and transfer some money onto that ID of yours and buy those books.
So the Art Library exhibit space, as you see around us, is a space that we have here in the Art Library that's to showcase the campus, the community, and the individuals and the artists and the creators that are within our midst. The reason the Art Library is so great is we're a collection that does not circulate. Within our collection we have over 90,000 volumes, and we also are able to provide a huge array of exhibits from students and community members. We have exhibits going on in our cases, and we really want community and faculty, students and staff to come and enjoy and have their voice heard and be able to appreciate the arts in ways that maybe they aren't usually seen. So to find out more information about the Art Library exhibit space, you can certainly join the Art Library Facebook page, or sometimes you'll find information on the Rutgers University Library homepage.
The Rutgers bus system provides more than 15 options to get around the 5 campuses. Sounds overwhelming? But here's a quick recap of the bus routes and available resources to make traveling easier. On weekdays, the A and H buses make stops along College Ave and Bush. The B loops between Livingston and Bush, as the LX makes stops on Livingston and College Ave. The F takes an express route by traveling Route 18 from College Ave to Cook and Douglas. The Rex L goes between Douglas and Livingston, with the Rex B looping between Douglas and Bush. There are also weekend buses, which make stops on every campus. Each bus stop displays the routes of the specific bus stopping there and the expected arrival times. To learn more about the Rutgers bus system and additional bus services, download the Rutgers app, visit nextbus.com or rudots.rutgers.edu. Visit the Livingston Plaza, where you can shop, dine, and experience the comforts of home right here at Rutgers on the Livingston campus.
Welcome back, Rutgers. You're watching Latinos Unidos. November is jam-packed with events this month. Now, make sure to check out the Dress to Impress workshop on November 6th at 6 p.m. at the Graduate Student Lounge. This hands-on workshop is meant to guide students as they go enter the workforce and help them dress the part. Career professionals are here to help you land the job of your dreams while looking your best. Don't miss out. And the LAARU Mentorship Program Meet and Greet Social is set for November 8th, 2014 at the Graduate Student Lounge. The Latino Alumni Association will be here to engage and guide students to successful internships and career paths. Now, that's all the time we have for today, but if you haven't gotten enough of your Latinos Unidos kick, make sure to tweet us at Latinos Unidos TV. We'll share your thoughts on our upcoming episode. And just for you, here's a sneak peek at our next episode. We'll see you next time. Danielle Noriega, buen dia, Rutgers.
Don't call her a pageant queen. Rutgers University student Sierra Kaler Jones sit down with Latinos Unidos and explains to us her plans post-pageant dreams. Miss New Jersey here in our very own studio.
In the history of the Miss America pageant. So I think that in and of itself is a feat for me, because growing up a lot of times I would look at public figures and not see somebody that looked like me, especially a woman of color in positions of power. So to just be a role model that had that look, that had that experience and had that background of other young kids that was tangible and that was relatable, somebody that they could look up to and say, if she can do it, so can I. I think that's the best accomplishment that I've had.